All right, well, thank you for joining us for the top 5 questions for your solar installer. We recognize that while choosing solar energy is a no-brainer, whether you're choosing it for savings on your utility bills, or you want ownership of your energy, or you want to contribute to a healthier environment, it can be a challenge sometimes to select the right solar company, especially today. Not every solar installer acts equally or ethically, and you'll want to do your homework to find a trusted company who can manage every aspect of your solar project from start to finish. And plus, you want a company that will be here for the long term as well to care for your system. So in this webinar, we're going to talk about, we're going to cover 5 top questions that we think are best to ask your solar installer, your prospective solar installer, that will help you choose the right partner. So let's begin by introducing tonight's presenters. Eric is our Director of Business Development. He's a member of the Straight Up Solar Marketing and Business Development team and has been since 2019. He develops our partnerships and marketing initiatives that inspire homeowners and businesses to go solar. And he also serves on the board of directors for the Missouri Solar Energy Industries Association. And he is a NABCEP certified PV associate. And my name is Shannon Fulton. I'm the Vice President of Development for Straight Up Solar. I joined the company as an installer and a designer back in 2013. And I lead our business development team along with Eric and our advocacy work in Illinois and our Central Illinois office operations. The board vice president of the Illinois Solar Energy and Storage Association, and also the Parklands Land Trust Foundation here in McLean and Woodford counties. I'm an Illinois State University alumnus in the areas of geology, geohydrology, and renewable energy. The 5 questions that you should ask an installer when looking into solar and considering who to go with include, what are the company values? Does your company install the system? Do they not only sell it, but do they install it? What's the company's experience? How will you pay for the system? Will the company be there if the system needs service? And then, of course, this isn't a question, but well, it is a question. You always want to ask for references, for examples of customers that the company has served. So with that, and those are 6 questions, not 5. With that, I'll introduce Eric, and he can walk you through the questions that you should ask a prospective installer. Go ahead, Eric.
Great, thank you, Shannon. We're going to start off with question 1. What are the company's values here? Well, the reason this is important is the solar industry has its fair share of ill-intentioned and profit-focused players here with a lot of new entrants in the marketplace. So as a consumer, it's very important for you to have a company that's aligned with your values, because you're going to be working with this company very closely on your investment. You're making a long-term investment in your property here. You want to have a company that shares the values with you and you can get along with here. I'm really proud to work at Straight Up Solar because every day we're driven by our clear values. CLEAR is an acronym that stands for C, care for our community, lead the energy transition, educate everyone, advocate with purpose, respect people and planet, and embody excellence. Every day we live by these values and we demand that our customers hold us accountable for these values here. And you should expect the same thing for any solar installer that comes to your house, and it's going to, again, add something to your investment, because the home is probably your most important investment that you've made, and you want to have people who respect that investment working on your home here. We're really proud to be affiliated with associations that verify our standards and hold us to a high standard of conduct. Shannon mentioned the B corporations. We are been certified since 2015 as a B corporation, which means that we have to uphold standards of a positive impact in our community and a positive impact on our environment. There actually is a third party called B Labs that requires us to fill out a report card every 3 years to making sure that we're achieving the standards that they outline to be part of a B corporation. And we're really proud to be part of the 60,000 B Corps nationwide. I'm sorry, 60,000 worldwide. Some of the ones in our nation are like Ben & Jerry's, King Arthur's Flour, New Belgium Brewing Company are just a few of the B Corps that we're really proud to be associated with here. Another group that we're really proud to be associated with is a nationwide solar cooperative called the Amicus Solar Cooperative. It's a group of 80 like-minded companies that are values driven and very focused on the clean energy transition here. And what the Amicus Association requires of us is that we must abide by a code of conduct, making sure that our vendor relationships, our relationship with our employees and our communities are uphold to the standards of the United Nations Global Compact, even a higher standard than our US government. And finally, we also agree to make sure that we are abiding by meeting or exceeding all workforce regulations in this country here. So again, Amicus and B Corp are nationwide and international organizations that we sign up with, and you should ask your solar installer what groups are they affiliated with that requires them to uphold a certain level of conduct here. Finally, we're really proud, as Shannon mentioned, Shannon's the vice president of the Illinois Solar Energy and Storage Association, and I'm on the board of the Missouri Solar Energy Industry Association. And we have to sign a code of conduct with each of those trade associations to make sure that we are dealing appropriately with the Illinois consumers and the Missouri consumers and putting them at the forefront of our decisions. So again, make sure you are asking, what are the company's values before you even engage in a company that's going to be on your roof or putting on an investment into your home here. The next question we're going to deal with is, does your company install my system? So, after the sale, there are many national solar companies here that just have a sales force, and then they pass on the installation to another installer, somebody who they have probably never dealt with personally. And not only that, the salesperson might not even know who that installer is going to be when it comes time to install it here. Many times we are on the receiving end of calls from national sales companies saying, hey, I just sold 30 projects in Illinois. Can you install them from you? That's not the case here at Straight Up Solar. You have one point of contact. Your salesperson can be your point of contact, and he or she will know the project manager, who then will guide you through the entire installation process here. Every single person at Straight Up Solar has knowledge into your project and knowledge in who is working on your project at all times. That makes us a turnkey EPC solar company. That stands for engineering, procurement, and construction. Turnkey means that we are going to pull the permits for you. We're going to work with the utility company, make sure you have the interconnection agreement. We're going to project manage that, making sure that all our crews are done in the appropriate schedule, keep you informed on when that schedule changes, and then notify you when that interconnection agreement comes from the utility. And probably most importantly here, we have people on our staff who work with the Illinois Shines program in Illinois to make sure you get all the right incentives for that state program here. We're really proud to have crews located in the communities of St. Louis, Bloomington, and Marion. They work and live in those communities. And I know all of us take pride in driving by people's homes or businesses that we installed solar on. So it's a real sense of pride to be a locally based company here at Straight Up Solar here. As I mentioned here, we have one project manager that will walk you through the process, which I'll go into in the next slide here. And we can make sure that that person is in touch at all points of the project here. Now, occasionally our build queue does get long, but we want to make sure that we install you in a timely fashion. So we do use vetted solar subcontractors. Usually they're experienced electrical contractors here to install it. They've been with us for many, many years, but you have a Straight Up Solar project manager. You have a Straight Up Solar person who, again, who's pulling those permits and getting those installations. It's only that last step, that installation and electrical subcontractors, when we're very busy. But by and large, you're going to be installed by a Straight Up Solar installation crew. And you'll always have us as the point of contact from installation and for service here. I want to go through a little bit of our process now here. If you're interested in going solar with Straight Up Solar, we have a 5-step process that starts with our solar support specialists. They gather the information on your utility bill. They understand who your utility provider is. They want to make sure your house is a good candidate for solar. We don't want to sell any home that has too much shade in it. We want to make sure we understand the orientation of your house. Gathering all that basic information. Again, when you're talking to another solar company, make sure your first point of contact those people understand that information? Do they understand house orientation? Do they understand shading? Do they understand the permitting and the setback process? That all happens at that initial discussion with our solar support specialists here. If your house is a good candidate for solar, you'll receive a custom layout from our project developers. That's where we're going to go really in depth on how we can lay out the panels. How many arrays can we get on one roof or multiple roofs? How that's going to connect into your meter. All that's designed. And then our project developer will also go over the cost and the incentive and the cash flow. All that is all part of a custom project proposal here. If you like the proposal and you sign a contract, you'll then go through steps 3 through 5, which are project management, project installation process. You'll be assigned one project manager that will work your project through, making sure that we have engineered designs that we will submit to the jurisdiction. It could be the city, could be the county, could be the electrical inspector. Make sure those diagrams are sent to the right people, making sure that your permits are approved, and then making sure that all your paperwork for the incentives are filled out here. That's all handled by the project manager. Once that gets established, you'll be put on the schedule. Right now, we're about 8 to 10 weeks out for residential installation here. So it's a great time to go solar because we can get you installed while the summer heat is still going on and in plenty of time to take advantage of all the net metering advantages that are currently available to you here. Typical installation takes about 2 to 3 days for a home. And again, your project manager will know exactly when to schedule it, know exactly what crew you're going to be on. We have all our teammates are listed on our website, so you actually will know who the people will be knocking on your door, what they look like here. That crew will help you install, they'll energize your system. 30 days later, we'll have someone walk through when the utility company gives you permission to operate, and we'll walk you through to make sure that you understand how the system works, and then you'll be ready to enjoy your array here. So that's our process at Straight Up Solar, and you should ask your installer, if you're going with a competitor, how their process goes. What's their project management? How are they going to handle all the background utility permitting and incentives for you here? Question 3 in our scorecard. What is your company's experience? As you know, in any profession, experience matters, and it's pretty difficult job to do a solar installation here. Our employees have to know the nuances of solar permitting, incentives, different products, utility regulations, and technology here. We're a solar company. That's all we do day in and day out. As I mentioned, we're an EPC company, which stands for engineering, procurement, and construction. We were founded in 2006 by an orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Dane Glick, who was very much concerned about the mountaintop removal that was going on in eastern Kentucky, where he was doing his residency. And Dane wanted to extend the notion of caring beyond his medical practice into the community. That's how he got involved in solar energy and renewable energy. When he moved here to St. Louis to start his practice, he put solar on his home and worked pretty well. The neighbors say, hey, that's pretty cool. Could you do it on my home? By that time, Dane had been NABCEP certified, the first one in the state of Missouri to have that NABCEP professional installer certification. Again, the neighbors thought that was pretty cool. You got a couple guys in a truck, and now over 18 years later, the company's installed 2,800 residential and commercial installations across Illinois and Missouri. We do homes, we do businesses, we do governmental buildings, we do schools, we do churches. It's really a great diverse portfolio, which means we bring that experience to your job. We know all the ins and outs of solar connections, what the different products are, what the different best ballasting on your roof are, the best attachments to your roof. Half of our employees, including myself, have a NABCEP certified. That stands for the North American Board of Clean Energy Professionals. I'm a NABCEP PV associate. We also have NABCEP PV sales certified people, engineers, and solar design specialists who are NABCEP certified here. And we also have, every crew has trained electricians here. We're really proud to offer the International Electrical Contractors Training Program, a 4-year training program for many of our installers are going through. And we have a licensed electrician who holds our company license, allows us to work all throughout Illinois and Missouri here. Also, safety is a big requirement here in our company. Each month, our crew takes a day where they're not on the roofs and they're coming together, swapping best practices and reviewing safety protocols, checking their equipment out to making sure that they're safe on the roof and making sure that we're not doing anything that is improper on your roof, that we're safe and organized, and again, providing best practices for the installations here. So I'm really proud to be part of a company that values caring and values safety first. And again, when you're looking at a company, ask for their experience, ask for what type of certifications the people on your roof are using and what type of experience they have. Another question we come across is, how will I pay for my system? You've probably heard a lot of these phrases here that you can go solar for no money down, or free solar panels here. And we're going to do another webinar that will go more in depth on that subject here. But the concept of no money down leases, it may result in a more costly system because the incentives are captured by the solar leasing company here. So you want to be aware when you're talking to a solar company, or am I talking to you about a lease? Or am I talking to you about a pathway where I can own my solar array through financing or through cash here? National solar companies tend to leave the market before the lease terminates. So we're here to stay. We back all our solar installations with a service department, but it's very important to understand what is going to be on your roof and who owns that roof. By owning your solar system, you're eligible for federal tax credits and state renewable energy credits. By leasing, all that flows to the national company who owns that lease here. The pie graph on the chart is for Illinois homeowners here. And you can see if you live in Illinois, you're blessed with 60% of your system will be picked up by other people, 30% through a federal tax credit, 30% through Illinois ratepayers through the Illinois Solar Renewable Energy Credits. If you live in Missouri, the federal tax credit is available for you. So 30% of the cost of solar is taken off the top by the tax credit here. So that's, again, if you own the system here. If you're interested in financing, Straight Up Solar is really proud to partner with the Clean Energy Credit Union. They're out of Boulder, Colorado. They're actually a virtual credit union that provides loans only for clean energy solutions. So solar energy, geothermal, electric bikes, electric cars, that's all they're focused on, is that clean energy economy and transitioning people to a clean energy lifestyle. And they have a variety of flexible loan options that tie in with the federal tax credit. Can also combine be a 12-year, a 15, or a 20-year loan. So in many cases, a loan financing can be similar to what you're currently paying on your bill, and there really might not be a reason for you to go to a lease. And then you can capture all those benefits of the tax credit and the solar renewable energy credits. But the key thing to ask our proposals and our project developer, and make sure you ask that of any of our competitor, is your proposal transparent? We like to make sure you understand where all the funds are going to in terms of the construction, and from in terms of the incentives that are coming. So make sure you get a cash flow statement, understanding how does the federal tax credit come in? How does the Illinois Solar Renewable Energy Credit come in? What year does it come in? How long does it go for? Can I carry it over? Those are all questions you want to be answered in your proposal. You want to be clear and transparent. And you also want to know the payback period. Right now in Illinois, because of the Solar Renewable Energy Credit, payback periods are running about 8 to 10 years, depending on the system and the production. In Missouri, that tends to be a longer payout, closer to probably a 15-year payout. But make sure you get that question answered by our project developer or any other competitor's project proposal. And finally, you want to make sure you understand what's the electrical bill savings. That ties into how we calculate the payback period. But ask our project developer and ask anybody else, how did you calculate those bill savings? Did you really understand my utility, how my utility does net metering in terms of paying me back for excess energy generated? And what type of inflation adjuster did you use for electric bill savings? Some competitors might use a 5% growth of electric bill. Some might use 3%. So it's very important to understand all these components of what you're going to pay in, what's your incentives, what's the net cost, and what's your payback period here. And again, we'd be happy to answer any questions about these questions as we go along in this presentation today. Our fifth question is, will you be there if my system needs service? As we mentioned, a lot of the companies that we deal with that come into Illinois market or the Missouri market are nationwide. So they're just going to sell you a system, then they're going to go hunt and find an installer, and then maybe that installer has a service department, maybe not. And more importantly is, those poorly managed companies tend to leave their homeowners in the dark about future maintenance issues. And that's a real issue for Straight Up Solar. As I mentioned, you have a project manager, that's your one source of contact throughout the installation, but that project manager can also transfer you to our service department. You can have a one point of contact for any questions you have about the array. Solar systems last probably between 25 and 30 years. We have the phrase set it and forget it, but the reality is there are wiring, there are things that can go on with communications and monitoring that can go wrong. We actually back all our systems from a 10-year performance warranty and a 10-year labor warranty. We get email notifications if your communication is going down or if a panel is not reporting here. And we can report back to you if something might be going wrong. Would you be interested in having a service trip visit to correct that situation here? We're very much familiar with your system. All our designs are in your database, so our service department can pull up the design. We know the products, we know what the panels were, we know what the inverters were, and we have those in stock and ready to come out and repair them for you if anything goes wrong here. And we also provide a warranty on your service work here. So again, when you're dealing with a solar installer, ask them about their service department, ask them who's going to service it, and ask them, who do I call? Who's the person? Who's the contact person for all of these questions about my service here? We have we're available all the time to answer service questions here and happy to do that here. It's one of probably the best part of our service team is the interaction we have with our customers here. So those are the 5 major questions we have for solar, what you should ask when you start going for solar, what you should ask a solar installer who knocks on your door here. But we wanted to add a little bonus question here. Make sure that you ask for references here. I know when someone is applying for a job at your company, you're going to ask for references on that individual. You should ask for the exact same thing about your solar company here. I'm really proud of Straight Up Solar that we can provide local references here. We have an installation map that's published on our website. We can provide references of people who are in your neighborhood who have similar experience with you in terms of whether it's a simple system or a system with battery storage or a system with battery storage plus EV charger. We have a whole portfolio of those 2,800 installations where we can pull from and give you contacts here. Of course, check out Google reviews. We're really proud of our 4.9 stars across our 3 offices here. Here's a little quote from Michael L. in Columbia, Illinois, giving us 5 stars. Really proud that he took the time to write that review. And also check out the Better Business Bureau. We're really proud to get the Torch Award 2 years ago for our ethics and customer satisfaction process here. We have a very thorough process where we're asking our customers at all stages of the installation how we're doing, what can we do to address your issues before we even finish the project here. I'm proud for a couple other designations here. Straight Up Solar has been ranked in the top 200 of our top solar contractors by Solar Power World, and as a great place to work for the 5th year in a row. We have been nominated by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch as the top places to work here. So when you're talking to a solar company, ask them about who recognizes them beyond the solar world as a great place to work or as an ethical or a group devoted to customer satisfaction here. So with that, I hope you got a sense of the 5 important questions and references that you need to go solar when you're choosing a solar installer. So thank you all for tuning in. We do appreciate it very much.